Good evening, YouTube viewers, commenters, and people who hit that like and subscribe button. Content analysis here, and I hope that everybody's having a nice evening. They're relaxed, they're having any problems or anything. So, today our discussion is going to be somewhat good. At least I hope it be good. It's good to me. I hope it's good to you guys and you ladies. So, we have two quotes for you today. We're going to start off with Sun Tzu. In the midst of chaos, there is always opportunity. Somewhere you see when people riot, that's an opportunity for some of them to get clothes, food, furniture. That's the opportunity for laws to change. That's the opportunity for people to try to impeach, kick out a president, like the insurrection, that was chaos. There was chaos when they ran the governor or mayor, I think it was, out of Flint, Michigan. So chaos with George Floyd, all of that is chaos, and there comes also opportunity. Black Lives Matter was opportune through chaos. So in the midst of chaos, there's always opportunity. Chaos is also what? A problem. So let's look at this. Why would chaos bring opportunity? Because there is always a well-known solution to every human problem. Neat, plausible, and wrong. All right, let's look at those three words. Neat, that's going to entail that it's done with or demonstrating skill or efficiency, that the solution is accurate, that it's clever. And we want to think about that word clever as I continue to go on and discuss the story that I'm about to bring to you ladies and gentlemen's attention. Ingenious, think about that word too. Inventive, think about that word too. So we want to try to take the need out and we want to replace it with there is always a well solution to every human problem. Clever, ingenious, inventive. Now let's go to plausible. Plausible is seeming reasonable or probable. So that means the person who creates the solution to the problem is saying it's believable. The solution is believable. It's sound. It's rational. When I put this story, I want you to think plausible and substitute that with rational and acceptable. So again, I want to repeat this because I want this to stay in your mind, because even if it's in your mind regarding this story, it could stay in your mind for the problems that you yourself face. You don't have to be all caught up in the problem. You could always remember this quote: there's always a well-known solution to every human problem. And people go through problems every day. And let's go to the third word: wrong. Wrong. Not correct. Not true. Mistaken. Off target. We want to try to think about off target when I go into my story here. So why do I bring up these two quotes? Mark Twain made this quote about the solution to the human problem. Because they're asking Mark Twain, L.M. Mencken, Peter Drucker, anonymous. Who made it? It is something that you can reflect on through your days, because everybody has problems. And sometimes people get so caught up in their problem, they think that there's really no solution to it. And if you sit back and you think and you relax your mind, you'll know there's always a well-known solution to every human problem. And it could be neat, it could be plausible, or it could be wrong. But it's a solution. So now why I bring this up? This is why I bring this up. I told you guys in one of my, you ladies and gentlemen, in one of my videos that New York follows California laws. So if New York state laws are compatible with California laws, then the politicians in New York are in tune with the politicians in California. Remember what I said now. If the laws are compatible between these two states, California and New York, it's got to be obvious that the politicians in New York are in tune with the politicians in California. So now we talk about gangs. Gangs, they rearing their ugly heads all over the place. They got members from 12 years old to 50 years old. They got little guys, big guys, in between guys, and guys who start the gang. They got leaders, followers. They got CEOs, supervisors, managers, and workers. 85% of the people in gangs don't even know why they're there. How do you get lured into a gang? A lot of people get lured into the gang for promise of power, money, guns, protection, a group that'll help them dominate other people, women, to be known. And then once a lot of them get inside these gangs, they find out they don't know shit. They're not getting nothing out of it. Jail, death. You got to go borrow a gun from the other homie. Big homie don't know nothing. Can't even guide him. All big homie wants you to do is sell them drugs and pass that money to him. Pay your dues. Check in. Go on this who ride over there for me. Go kill this person over here because I don't like him. You got to kill other people that ain't related to your set. It's red against blue. It's black against white. It's Spanish against black. We got to get them. Each one targeting the other, and nobody's gaining. So now they've been locking up gangs, and they've been locking up gangs by the groups. 13 here, 14 here, 23 here, 15 here, 7 here, 6 here. The numbers add up, though. They catch them in little bunches. And the number adds up, 10 cent, 20 cent, 30 cent, 50 cent, same thing. It's hard to fight them. They can't take down the leader of most of these gangs because nobody know who the leader are, because it is not unified, some of these gangs. They're not like a bikers club. People say call it bikers club because the bikers was in here one time and I called them a biker gang. They said, no, we're not a biker, we're not a gang, we're a club. So I'm gonna stick to that. The bikers club. They're organized. You have biker clubs, you know the name of few. You got, you know, the Mongolas. Where they at? They all over. They got one leader. They got one secretary. They got presidents in every club who talks to the leader, the founder. Hell Angels, all over the world. They got one leader, the founder. He just died, so I heard. They got presidents in every club. They're in contact. They're in unity with each other. You got Crips. They don't know who their leader is. They got Big Homie. Big Homie ain't doing nothing. They're fighting other members that's Crips with them. So these Crips are fighting that Crips, and those Crips are fighting that Crips, and them Crips are fighting that Crips. Then you got the Bloods. No leader. Mad bloodshed. But these bloods are fighting, those bloods are fighting, those bloods are fighting, those bloods. You got the Latin kings, the Spanish gangs, they be more or less together. They be more or less together. Remember I said out of chaos, there's opportunity. When the Bloods started entering out of jail and coming into the streets in New York, the young new members were tearing the Spanish people up, and it became a big thing. Out of that chaos, the leader of the Blood, the Latin Kings, I'm not going to say his name. Everybody know who he is. He was given money by the local politicians to hand out clothes and foods to the Latin population in the Bronx. But Big Homie can't think. So he thought he'd get that money and he'd go buy some drugs with it and they won't know. So, the white man watches money, man. The white man know what he doing. When you get that money, it's a whole different story for him. He expect you to do what he asks you to do with that money and what you agreed to do with that money. So they notice he's not out there with the clothes no more. He's not out there beating the homeless no more. He's not out there advocating for the good in people opposed to the bad in people. And they investigated and locked him up. We know what happened after that, but we ain't going to say that. But I'm just saying that to say gangs has been around since the early 1900s. We in 2023. They're still here. They're still here. So now they're going so crazy. They're shooting up in the streets. They're killing innocent people. We got to take them down. They're doing this. They starting all these other little gangs through drill rap. They starting these black gangs, the up the hill boys, the down the hill boys, the round the corner boys, the East Project boys, the Bloods, the Crips. So there's so many gangs. The BKE, the OBG. They got so many gangs now. It's ludicrous and ridiculous. No leader. They're not going anywhere. They're not organized to do nothing but become terrorists in the neighborhood. So, that's a human problem. So it says there is always a well-known solution to every human problem. Today's human problem is gangs. Gang, ball gang, this gang. It's gangs. So they want to tackle the problem with gangs. So remember what I told you? New York follows California law. Therefore, New York politicians have to be in tune with California politicians. So when it comes to these gangs now, look what they found out. They found out that in California, that they got some real smart gang people in California. I remember one time, I was on YouTube and I was going through content and watching it, call it trolling, whatever you want to do. This is what I do. I like to view other people's stuff. Some people I subscribe to, some people I don't subscribe to. And there was a discussion about New York Bloods and Crips versus California Bloods and Crips. Not on no fighting stuff, on some what's a real gang stuff. What does gangs do stuff. And the gang member in California pointed out that they take care of their neighborhoods. They progress and take care of their neighborhood. Somebody say, oh man, how they take care of their neighborhood? You know, gangs, they fuck up every neighborhood. You can kind of imagine that it may be so because they got sections. So you got the Hoover ones over here, the D ones over there, the D's ones over there, the Bloods over there, the Bloods over there. They got sections. And they just don't run in each other's sections to do violence. You get caught out of pocket. That's what happens. You out of pocket, you're going to be put in a pocket. But nonetheless, if you have a section, you're taking care of your section. It's like if you bought a house today, you're going to take care of your house. If you bought an apartment building, you're going to take care of your building. You might be a slumlord down the line or something like that, but you're going to be a slumlord. You're going to take care of your property. That's yours, and you're going to defend your property. New York doesn't have that. They just all over the place. This, about that. Nobody is fighting over territory in New York. They're fighting over op. Nobody's building up their community. 3 sets of blood in a project complex with 3 different buildings. They're fighting each other, shooting court. They're not taking care of the old people in that project. They're not schooling the young kids in that project. They're not making sure that the women and the children are safe in those projects. They don't care if they shoot and kill one of them. It ain't had nothing to do with me. Hey, she was in the way. But in looking at gangs in California, it was discovered that gang members hold positions at highest levels of LA Sheriff Department. Investigation revealed. So they not stupid out there. They allowed their gang members to infiltrate the sheriff department. How beneficial is that for protecting your community? How beneficial is that for going after your opposition? Y'all think about it. I could see it. But you have the little gangs with the little-minded leaders can't think that far. The police is here. The police is the gangsters. The COs are going to lock you up and keep you in there. The marshals is going to go anywhere. They're like Batman. He has no jurisdiction, and he will find you, and he will squeeze you till you squeal. So somebody in some of these gangs was able to sit back and say, whoa, police keep coming knocking us off, doing this, we trying to do what we do to get our 1-2 to make our money and everything. So how the fuck can we stop it? Oh, I know what we doing. This one's always in there. His family is already this. He know his brother's one of this. Let's see if we could get him in. This one hasn't had his felony yet. Tell him go take the police test. Fuck that. Let's not let him get a felony. That's something the mob did. They didn't let all their kids join into the mob family. They watched those kids. And they said, you know what, he's going to be a lawyer. Because we're not going to depend, if we got a gang, we got to have a lawyer for our boys. He's on retainer. He's part of us. John Gotti, they took his lawyer from him, locked him up, disbarred him. Al Sharpton, they took his lawyer from him. Now, Al Sharpton let that happen. That's a whole nother story. So why not? If we're doing crime, and it's police and thief, and then our guys are getting locked up, why should we not have correction officers that's part of our gang? Sheriffs, that's part of our gang. Lawyers, that's part of our gang. Bail bondsmen, that's part of our gang. Why not? So, like gangs is going to be here, and you got to, give props where props due. Gang members who was able to pull that off, because now they got investigation. I don't know what happened during the investigation, what happened to those people, but they had people up there, high level, giving the orders to the lower level. So when Big Dog go and tell Sharp Dog what he needs done, he just send them troops out. I did read a little article and it said they was going out and doing violence on the opposition. They were going out and attacking the opposition for the gang members, being sent by the highest level. Brilliant. Solution to the human problem. Neat, plausible, wrong. You decide which one that is. So now New York, politicians, sheriffs, marshals, they found out about this investigation over there. So it said, damn, that's a human problem. We got to find a neat, plausible, or wrong solution to ours over here. Hey. We got a gang problem over here, but thank God our gang ain't like that. Thank God none of our high levels was infiltrated and manipulated to join one of these gangs. Thank God we don't got a whole lot of lawyers in these gangs out here. Thank God they just killing each other. They're not organized enough. They're not thinking enough to go that far to protect themselves. So we got to try to do something as a solution to our gang problem. And if we look at what happened here, maybe we on to something. And look what they did, y'all. They starting in Syracuse, New York. Syracuse wants to pay 50 gang members, that's just a start, to stay out of trouble as part of an anti-violence program. Half of the homicides in the past 2 years were gang-related, according to a new report by the Syracuse Mayor Office to Reduce Gun Violence. Half of the homicides in the past 2 years were gang-related. Kill, 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 kill. Going to jail with no money. Getting a whole lot of time. Don't know the law, so you're going in there and you're pleading guilty when you might be able to beat the damn case. Your big homie's not teaching you nothing. You're not having powwows sitting down and learning. You're learning from YouTube. You're not reading. When I first did my build, I got 12 years. And when I was coming home, I was in Napanock Correctional Facility in Ellenville, New York, Easton. So, old guy grabbed me, he ain't going home. He dying in jail. And he said, young blood, what you gonna do when you get out? I said, man, seeing all these dumb people in here and going through all the stuff I went through and missing people so much and losing my baby and all of that, I'm gonna get me a job, man. He said, you lying. Shut the hell up. You lying. I said, man, how you gonna tell me I'm lying, man? I'm not trying to come back to jail. That was a lie, because I went back, even caught a federal case. So he said, come on, man. You ain't coming to the yard no more till you go home to tell everybody bye. I said, man, where I'm going to be at, man? I ain't going to be in myself. He said, you're going to be in the law library. If you're going to do crime, know the law. Know what they can and can't do. Know how much time you're going to get for the criminal act you commit. Then go brave. Go handle the high horizons. And I learned law. And that's why I read so much today. I don't rely on people in crime who haven't been nowhere, who dropped out of school to give me valid information. You can give me valid gossip. Tell me about what's going on over there, over there, over there, because I really don't care and I'm not looking too much for that. So I can look to you for that. Grapevine information. But when it comes to protecting myself from the law, I have to know the law. Malcolm X said, in order to beat him, you have to speak his language. And he studied the whole dictionary. Because they'll twist words on you. They made the English dictionary. They'll twist the words up on you. And Malcolm X figured it out. And think about it. He was addicted to heroin. And he had no education. Couldn't even read while he was in jail. So at the end of the day, everybody just looked at Malcolm X and said, by any means necessary. Don't even understand that statement. They never read some of his essays. They never read some of his lectures he did in colleges. Talking about the hair, talking about the reason black people are where they are, how black people can improve themselves. They didn't listen to all of that. So all they knew is, by any means necessary, and see him with that gun in that window, that the media wants you to see that. By any means necessary, get a gun. Here you go. By any means necessary, get a gun. Here you go. By any means necessary, get a gun. It's more to life than that. For every human problem, there's a solution. Neat, plausible, or wrong. You pick it. It's your problem. But anyway, Syracuse said we ain't going to let them do that. So they wanted to pay 50 gang members to stay out of trouble as part of their anti-violence program. Now, I don't know who them 50 men is going to be. You know, I don't know how they're going to pick those 50 gang members. But everybody probably wondering, yeah, man, they going to get them 50 gang members and they going to pay them. Let's see this. Let's go. Let's see this. A new program aimed at reducing the city's gun violence, this is Syracuse, New York, wants to pay gang members to stay out of trouble. The Community Violence Interruption Policy. The Community Violence Interruption Policy. Go read it. I looked it up. Go look it up. Go read it. A pilot program proposed by Mayor Ben Walsh's office to reduce gun violence plans to pay between $100 and $200 a week to gang members who agree to participate. The payments are aimed at helping gang members with basic expenses, but they only get the money if they participate in the program. They got to participate in the program. It's a reduced gun violence program. They're targeting gangs. They're starting in Syracuse. You know how they go. That's how them politicians do. We're going to watch that program. Yeah, Bill. We're going to watch it. That Ben Walsh is something else. He's really making things happen in that Syracuse. Yeah. We're going to watch that program. If it works, we're going to adopt it, and they're going to call theirs something else. And then Buffalo's going to do it. New York City's going to have it. New York City have it. Brooklyn going to have one. Bronx going to have one. Queens going to have one. Manhattan going to have one. I don't know. Staten Island and Queens. I don't know. We don't really see them as part of the city like that. I mean, Staten Island, Far Rockaway, and them people. But anyway, y'all think about it now. Y'all think about it. Let me show you something. Y'all think about it. Social structure theories stress that crime results crime results from economic and other problems in how society is structured. Economic and other problems in how society is structured, and from poverty, and other problems in the neighborhood. Interactionist theory stress that crime results from our interaction with family members, peers, and other people, and from labeling by the criminal justice system. Interactionist theories stress that crime results from our interaction with family members, peers, and other people, and from labeling by the criminal justice system. Gangs grow from family members. People have family members that are into gangs, and some of those family members sell drugs to make money and carry guns, go out there, put work in, get away with it. And the youth see it. And he want that money. He not thinking about no job. He thinking of drugs and that gun. Peers. Once you go outside, you got your peers. I got to use the examples that I have. I remember when Math Hoffa was interviewing Troy Ave. Troy Ave said he was around a lot of gang members, always around them, so he joined the gang. Great example of peers. Peer pressure. My nephew joined the gang, and as I watched him while we locked up, I watched him do his thing in prison. I let him do his thing and I did my thing, you know what I mean? In the end, I had to save him from his own gang members. But I asked him, bro, why did you even join the gang? He said, everywhere I went, they beat me up so much and always had problems with them. I just said, the hell with it, and I joined the gang. Peer pressure. Being physically assaulted led him to join the gang. It wasn't of free will. He didn't know what he'd get out of it. Other people. YouTube. Facebook. Twitter. TikTok. Instagram. The kids are looking at it and they're seeing these gangbangers. They're flashing these guns and they're flashing all this money and they're wearing all this big jewelry and they want to be like them. And they want to be like them. So they look outside and they see this group on the corner and maybe they're Crips or maybe they're Bloods or maybe Hispanic. So maybe they're Neanderthals. Maybe they're Trinidadios. Maybe they're Latin King. And he start easing his way down there. And he see what they can get. He see what some of them get, because sometimes they don't end up getting it. And he joins the gang. Labeling by the criminal justice system. I don't really know how that works, because I know society label people. The criminal justice system, once you're in there, they label you a certain way. I guess you wear it. We're not calling them inmates no more. That's what the mayor of New York said now. So is this plausible? Is this possible? Is this truth? Or is somebody just talking? Is there examples that could validate these terrorist findings? So when you look at economic and other problems and how society is structured, and from poverty and other problems in the neighborhood, when you look at a kid in a dilapidated neighborhood and he goes look a couple of blocks down, get on that bus and goes down and see those nice houses, see even those projects that they got, and nice grasses around them, and nice trees around, and nice playgrounds around, and then he goes to his project and it's the rubber mats only in the playground, and it's dirty, and it's no grass, there's some trees, and he looking, dilapidated building there, dilapidated building there. Does it play a part on him? How society is structured. Everybody's against the American black man. Y'all think it's different. Everybody uses racism. Black people don't. Everybody uses racism to get ahead. Black people don't. It's so wrong. But it's so right and progressive for everybody else except black people. Because they don't know how to use it. They swear it's so wrong. But they do. He's racist. He's racist. They're going to stay racist. And they're going to use their racism to keep you down. Racism and prejudice is two different things. You fight prejudice. You can't fight racism. You can fight prejudice, discrimination, unequal treatment, but you cannot fight racism. And everybody uses racism to their benefit except black people. So you got the racism going on and this and that and that. Economic. Even black people that are working really hard and been working hard all their life still hasn't bought a house. Always dreamed to buy a house and still hasn't bought a house. Because everything is doubled up on them. Down payment is high. Credit is, your credit got to be just crazy max, 800 and something. But for other people, 600 to get them by. 720 to get them by. But for you, it got to be 840, 900. Your down payment's high. Your interest high. Your mortgage payment's high. Then they don't want you in certain neighborhoods. So economics becomes a problem. So these kids join these gangs. So now, you got Syracuse wanting to be the leading city in the state of New York that wants to try some new clever approach. Yes, they're being clever. Yes, they're being inventive. Approach to trying to stop violence. Part of stopping violence is these kids need money. Everybody talking about community work, going and talk to these kids. When you talk to these kids and they leave where you talking about, they hungry. They need money. 33% of white teenagers get good jobs, while 25% of black teenagers get jobs, but not so good. Am I saying something wrong? Do you like what I'm saying? Would you rather just go hear about all these drama things going on social media when nobody's taking a stand really for nobody? When nobody's taking a stand against nobody? When they're all playing y'all for views, for numbers, So this week, this guy's going to be at this guy's throat. Next week, they're going to be on a live together talking. Hey, brother. Next week, he's going to be at this one. The only one consistent in their behavior on this shit is Charleston White. He getting everybody. Ain't nobody friends with him. If he go on the live, you see people, he had them little kids and them guns. Show your house so I can send the police to you. Show that gun in your house. Show me where your number is. What your house number is. That's what Charleston White doing, and then he getting on these other ones. As he should. As he should. And he's staying on their neck. But let's point out the flip side of this payment thing here. A lot of people are young. They're in these gangs. Their minds has been manipulated. Their minds have been manipulated so badly that gang members could give them a gun and they go crazy and just blow that gun up right in a public place, shoot all types of people except the person they were supposed to shoot. So a grandmother got killed. A kid got killed. A parent got killed. A mistaken identity kid got killed. Because Big Homie is not directing that shit right. Y'all leaders not directing y'all right. And everybody's not made to be in a gang. If somebody want to get in a gang, they'll go to the gang themselves. They don't have to be manipulated. If somebody's going to kill, they're going to kill by their own determination to kill. You don't have to send them to kill nobody. Just like if somebody's going to tell. All you got to do is put them in that position and they're going to tell. So now you're going to get this program, an anti-violence program. A violence to reduce, a program that's to help reduce guns. They're going to get these guys and they're going to pay them some little bit of money. $100 to $200 a week. If it's starting at 100, how you get to 200? You graduate like on your job. 90 days you get your first raise. 6 months you get another raise. How does it work? They're going to use these same people that go in this program to infiltrate y'all gang members, to start telling what y'all gang members are doing, and come knock y'all off, to tell who got the guns in the gang, because they're directly for anti-violence and it's under a gun reduction program. Clever. Yes, clever. Wrong? Yes, wrong. Because that money you're giving out ain't really going to help that kid do nothing. But you know what it might do? Some of them kids come in the thing and they, I want to go in there, I'm going to start selling drugs, I'm going to be keeping up on my Jordans, I'm going to get me a $1,000 iPhone, I'm going to get me a gold chain with some glass in it, my shit going to be shining all over the place, I'm going to have VVS's. And when they get there, they're working selling drugs for somebody. They shooting for somebody else, not for themselves. So the smart gang members going to say, hey man, if I go in there and get that $200, that's an 8-ball. I could start it out. If I stay there 3 weeks, homie selling them guns for $500, I could go buy my own gun. I ain't got to ask nobody for nothing. That's where the program can go wrong at. But where it's going to go right at is some of them kids don't want to be there. Some of them kids is not getting no money out there. They're getting drinks, they're getting drugs, and they're getting themselves in prison. Or they're dying. Drinks, drugs, death, or jail. That's what they're getting. And they walk around like they bad in a group of people. Catch them by themselves, just like in prison. Catch them by themselves in that bathroom. Fuck what the gang gonna do in the yard. Catch your ass in that bathroom by yourself. Let's see what you could do. Niggas be folding like folding chairs. Flipping over like when you hit that folding table too hard, that shit just collapsing. So at the end of the day, this program is twofold. And if it's successful in Syracuse, it's going to be in New York City, Rochester, Buffalo, Newburgh, Poughkeepsie, all these little places in New York where all this gang violence is off the hook, with motherfuckers busy going nowhere but dying and in jail. They ain't get on the internet, man, I bet 10,000. That nigga know he ain't got no motherfucking 10,000 to bet on nothing. Nigga living in his mama house, living off his girl, driving her car. 10,000 what? I'm not trying to belittle nobody. I'm just telling the facts and showing y'all what's coming. Ecuador built a max prison and filled it full of gang members. A mega max prison and filled it full of gang members. New York closed prisons down, but it's locking up 23, 13, 14, 10, 7. That's almost 100 right there. They're going to go upstate. If they're closing out all these jails, where they going to go? Where are they going to place them? They're going to build one of them mega masses. And when you in that jail, young man who ain't been there yet, who out there repping that shit and ain't been nowhere yet, ain't been shot yet, ain't been stabbed yet, ain't had to fight nobody with no knife, and you ain't got one yet, and come running in that cell, and nobody's there but you and that person, you don't want to go there, bro. Everybody don't make it in prison. Everybody don't got no loud voice in prison. Everybody don't go on the weight yard in prison. Everybody don't walk around in the gym in prison. Test yourself. Go there. I suggest you don't do it if you don't have to do it. But when you play chess, you can see this for what it is. When you don't, you can look past it. You can keep following those guys with all that money, talking all that talk, and some of them ain't doing nothing that they're talking about, ain't living none of that. You're the one going to live it with no money, with no support. Look at some of the cases of some of them people that went to court that killed some of them rapper people. They didn't have nothing. They had to get a court-appointed lawyer. I don't got to call the names. So some people going to go on this program for that little $200. And some people going to change their lives through that program without going to jail. And some people going to go in that program and take your little gang down. They're going to want them guns. They're going to want who's sending out them, green lighting them shootings. Y'all talk about gangs and all that on this YouTube shit like it's official, like that shit is legal. Shit's not legal, man. It's not a legal entity. It's not a legal organization. It's a criminal organization. It's not an LLC. It's not a non-for-profit. It's a bunch of people led by illiterate people who go nowhere and not going to allow you to go nowhere. And they're trying to come up with ways to get y'all. Remember, to every human problem, there's a solution. Need, plausible, or wrong. Because out of chaos comes opportunity. What opportunity are you going to make out of your chaos? Content analysis, 2750. My puppy dog is my profile picture. Please subscribe. If you don't like it, hey man, that's on you. You don't like nothing positive. If you want to comment, bring your negativity or your positive. Do what you feel, man. But listen, man. Because I bring nothing but good news. Have a nice night. Continue to live your life and change where change is necessary. Y'all have a nice night.